This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey personality, best-selling author, and host of the Dr. John Deloney Show, is my co-host today. He has a couple of PhDs. He's the smartest guy in the building, and if you don't believe me, ask him. And also the most humble.
I agree. Continue.
So, but anyway, you need to listen to his show. It's all about mental health and boundaries and relationships. And you weren't scheduled to be involved in the show yesterday, but you got involved behind the scenes a little bit.
Yeah.
For those of you that were not around yesterday for whatever reason, I don't usually tell you what yesterday is, but this is the time we're going to stop and do that. We had a young lady call in with Rachel and I on the air that became apparent during the call that she was a victim of domestic violence. I don't even like saying that way because it sounds so antiseptic. She was a victim of her boyfriend beating the crap out of her, is a better way of saying the truth. And we determined that. And then while we were on the call, we determined he was in the room, that he had walked in and was not happy. And so it went from a financial question to a question of her safety and her child's safety and so forth on the air, live. It's pretty wicked, weird, and wild, but walked her through that a little bit. And John just happened to walk by the studio and stepped in, and I put her on hold, and he has done a lot of trauma and crisis intervention type counseling over the years, and so trained in that, but also experienced in that. So you got on the phone with her, and we were able to get the police over there very quickly. And the young man is sitting where he should be now, in a cage, which is where people like that belong. And so I think they call that a jail, but I called it a cage.
Very similar.
Either one's fine with me, but they're both a similar situation here. This is where this little guy needs to be. And so that was pretty wild discussion you were having in there off air. Yeah,
I noticed at one point I didn't know who was in there. You know, you kind of zone out and try to lock. In face to face, you lock eyes, but in those situations, you lock hearts with somebody. And then I noticed you'd come in there after a while. But yeah, it was intense, mainly because it was live. It was happening live, and she was not. It wasn't philosophically unsafe. She was unsafe now. And somebody else had her kid, and then you've got a mom who needs to protect herself, but I'm not going to leave my baby unprotected, and now you've got a messy situation. And whenever I show up to something like that, I'm always looking at escalation trends. Is this thing slowing down? Are people separating and they just yelling at each other, or is it moving up? And this one moved up real rapidly. And luckily, that police department there was super responsive, and they showed up, and I'm grateful to them. And at the end of the day, man, we're talking to a really brave young woman, brave new mom, and she's got a hard row ahead of her. But things got pretty dicey there for a minute. Yeah, and that's not us Hollywoodizing this thing. It got pretty dicey.
It was very real. Yeah, and he's a violent dude, and so the of course. So the end of the story is she's safe. Her family's around her, and of course we're gonna. We've plugged her in with financial counseling. She does have some crisis financial situation as well. And
we've got some resources there, some domestic violence
really
resources.
Was not even on the table for discussion yesterday. Right. So, but our team is rallying around her. We're plugging her in with counselors, not, of course, no charge. And we're just going to walk with her and make sure she gets her life changed in a different direction, because it sure was going down the toilet pretty fast there.
And we did. We connected her to some domestic violence resources there in Tampa too, so that she can have a local community that can be hands-on there.
So she's safe and good. For those of you that were listening, a lot of you have been emailing us and worried and so forth. And so we thought we would give you guys a bit of an update. And, it's odd. You and I were talking, I think it was last week on the air, about this correlation between extreme control over money issues and domestic violence.
Yep.
That there's a correlation between that, because there's this where a husband or a boyfriend will not let you pick the cereal at the grocery store. You can't go grocery shopping by yourself. You can't buy detergent. You can't do anything without his approval on every little nuanced thing, where there's that level of weird, toxic control over a lady, a woman, with the money. It's a high statistical indicator that he's probably hitting her.
It's just about power, right? And I'll take that power wherever I can get it. Yeah.
It's about power and control, and boy, that was going on yesterday, and you could smell it in the air. So I put her on the air. It was, it didn't take a genius to figure out what was to figure out what I was dealing with, what we're going into there. But I think the thing that you can't get away from. On the positive side or the negative side of toxic behaviors is that, or behaviors is that personal finance is 80% behavior. It's only 20% head knowledge. So the chances of you being in a relationship that are that dysfunctional and being wealthy, becoming wealthy in a dysfunctional setting is just almost impossible.
Right.
Because these things don't live in one nice little compartment over here. Right. And then not bleed over. Or not bad metaphor, but don't reach over into the other areas of your life.
Absolutely.
So, you can't be a punching bag in one area of your life and then suddenly be prosperous and healthy and winning at your career and winning at your wealth building and that kind of thing. They just don't. We can't compartmentalize that tight.
Right. And one of the challenge with relational abuse of any kind is you accept that as a given. You accept that as, well, some days are good days. Occasionally he'll come in crying saying he's sorry and it's going to be okay. And so you start trying to solve that inner chaos at the margins. You start trying to think of, well, maybe I can get a better interest rate, or maybe I should trade my car in, or it's probably my job. And you distance yourself from this core nuclear reactor issue. That is, hey, you're not safe. Your baby's not safe. And this thing just escalates this way, right? So to anyone listening...
the decisions you make on the money on the fringe is to avoid the nuclear reactor at the center are never good decisions.
They're not. Because you're making them out of chaos, right?
Yeah, well, and you're making them in order to mask.
That's right.
And instead of dealing with the core issues. And so, Larry Burkett used to say, debt is not the problem, it's the symptom.
There you go.
And so it's a symptom of a behavior.
Well, I heard you say something yesterday through the window that I think is worth reiterating. You listened to her and you said, hey, hon, you are worth being saved. You're worth more than this. And so anybody listening who's in any sort of abusive situation, exhale and drop your shoulders for a second and look up in the rearview mirror if you're driving, or look in the mirror at your house. You're worth being saved.
This is The Ramsey Show.
What makes our show unique is that we genuinely care about our listeners. We're intentional about choosing the best advertisers to recommend. Blinds.com is no exception. They offer high-quality window treatments at unbelievable prices, and they make it simple to shop blinds, shades, and interior shutters with easy online ordering, free shipping, and a guaranteed perfect fit. Go to Blinds.com and take advantage of this week's special savings.
Deloney. Ramsey Personality is my co-host today. Ellen is in New Jersey. Hi, Ellen. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, how are you today?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I was just curious. Me and my husband were trying to figure out what to do about our money because he's working at a sales job and he's not making as much as we were hoping to be.
Okay, your phone sucks. Can you speak directly into it? We're having trouble understanding you.
Sure. Hang on. Let me see. If maybe my fan is too loud. Hold on. Okay, is that better?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Start again,
You're
so
welcome.
maybe we can understand you now.
Yeah. My husband is a insurance salesman, and we were projected to make a certain amount of money, but because of issues with his job and things, we're not making enough. He has a bad history of work history, so we've been trying to repair it by keeping at jobs for a certain length of time, but we're not really making enough money to make ends meet, so I'm not sure what we should do.
So he's on straight commission, and y'all are starving to death.
Well, he has a little bit. He gets like $2,000 a month of almost $2,000 a month of base pay, so we can get that at least. Yes.
But he's obviously not a good insurance salesman.
No, unfortunately.
Okay, so he does need another job. I don't care what his work history is.
Yeah, when you say he has a bad work history you're trying to repair, what does that mean?
It means he's not stayed on the job very long.
Yeah, he had a history of not staying on the jobs very long.
Why?
The last few years, we've been working on fixing that.
Why?
When he was working with his family needed a lot of help. So he was kind of off of work a lot, and he'd get fired for those reasons. But
I'm sorry, he'd get fired because his family needed a lot of help. You mean because he didn't go to work
didn't
because he
show
was
up at
helping
work.
his family?
Yeah.
Okay.
When did that stop?
That stopped actually after he started dating me. I started pushing him to work harder, and he did start working a lot harder. So
How long
been
ago?
Improving a whole lot since then. That's about 2000, and I'd say about 2018 it really started improving.
Okay, so he's held a job since 2018 fairly steadily?
Yeah, he's held different jobs, but he's not been fired from any of them, and he's been steady being working all the time. So that he has been doing.
Here's the deal. He's got to go get another job. He's got to get 2 or 3 of them, and he's not going to make a lot of money at the hourly wage, but he needs to start making some money. That's where you're at. And I know you'll have a dream right now of, hey, we're going to make this. This is going to be the job that bails him out of all the other bad jobs. That's not where you're at right now. Y'all got to eat. You're in an emergency. So he's got to go to Lowe's, and he's got to go drive Uber at night, and he's got to get up, and I don't think they have paper routes anymore. He's got to find a morning job too. And he's going to be working 3 jobs, 6 days a week, 7 days a week, and he's just got to get cracking.
So, Ellen, you sound like you're taking care of a little boy to me.
That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
Like he doesn't want to work much, like he's lazy and you're covering for him in this call.
That was the case originally. It's not anymore. I'm actually a stay-at-home mom, so he's been doing most of the actual working.
I know, but he's not working. It's not working.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, like the reason he sucks as an insurance salesman is because he doesn't do it.
Yeah, he's not making sales.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what we need to do, are you guys in a good church?
Actually, we just joined a better church.
Wonderful.
We were at a church that was too far away, but now we're at a good one.
Wonderful. Okay, I want him to plug in with some guys that are a little bit older than him and start to develop some relationships with some guys who have high quality work ethic and who have big goals for their lives, and let him start hanging around with those guys, because I think no one has ever taught him how to do those things.
That's right. He's got some family challenges. I get that.
Well, I think his family that didn't allow him to work much, so he had to stop and help them.
Right.
They don't work much.
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't have any
I'm
picture
thinking
of what that even looks like.
Yeah, it's like,
But I also know guys like this that it's always a scheme. It's the next thing.
Yeah, and you look for, when you're desperate, you look for stupid ideas.
There you go. And you just need to work real hard for a long time.
Yeah,
Right now.
and don't jump on pipe dreams.
Yeah.
Just go get something where you can hustle and grind out some money, and just be steady and be the tortoise.
And somebody
don't
will
be the
quit
hare.
ahead of you, and you'll get hey, I need you to take this shift, and we're going to make you assistant. I mean, that's how that'll work.
Just if you just show up, work while you're at work, and smile while you're at work, and work while you're at work, and smile while you're at work, and you show up all the time, and you do that, all of a sudden magic stuff starts happening. It just does. I mean, it's just incredible what ends up happening, because here's the thing. Most people don't show up and work at work.
Or they show up and work and they're jerks to be around.
Yeah.
That's the magic.
Yeah.
Do your job and don't be an idiot. Ta-da, make $1 million. That's like the slogan. I'm going to write that book. Do your job and don't be an idiot. How about that?
But I mean, that's all of us.
That's kind of it.
It's like, if you just show up and care,
fun to be around,
and care all day long, and smile while you're there, dadgum, man, you're just like in the top % right there.
Dave,
before you did anything else. You don't even have to be that good at it.
How did the bar for life get so low? Low. Just show up to the job that you just show up.
It's not just him. It's
No,
just
I know
everybody.
it's
We're talking.
not.
Ellen, we're not talking
It's
about your husband.
everyone.
We're talking about everybody now.
Yes.
Okay. So just yeah, be at work while you're at work. Work.
Real hard.
It's a formula.
And don't be an idiot.
Get off of Facebook. You're supposed to be working. You're supposed to be working.
Hey, and
don't be watching YouTube cat videos.
To every
you're supposed
guy
to be
out there,
working.
To every guy
Work while you're at work.
who has had a past where they've struggled, and now you're in it, and you've got a incredible woman like this by your side, and this is going to be the job, and you get in and you're trying to sell, and it's not working. Be honest. Be open about it and transition to something else. Don't think you're saving anybody by drowning your whole family. And that's how people end up, 2 years later and $60,000 in secret credit card debt and nonsense like that.
Scott's in Dallas, Texas. Hey, Scott, how are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys?
Better than we deserve. How can we help?
Okay, I got a question for you. I am 47 years old, and my fiance is 39 years old. We are getting married for the second time. Each of our second marriages next month. We've been together for about 6 years. She's a super great woman, and I'm very confident that this one's going to work for me. But we're at two ends of the spectrum when it comes to our finances. She is a 10-year professional. She's an audiologist, and she has about $160,000 in debt, most of it student loans. And I have approximate net worth of $1.9 million, debt-free except for my house. So my question is, how do we attack it?
Attack her debt? Attack what?
Attack our debt.
It's not our debt till you're married. And
Right,
once you're married, you write a check and you pay off her debt.
I don't have that much cash.
Why? You have $1.6 million, $1.9 million. You don't have $160,000? What's it in?
I have 4 paid-off rental properties, and I have about $375,000 of equity in my own home. And I've got about $500,000 in retirement. And I am down to $60,000 in cash. And that's why I feel comfortable, because I'm a small business owner, and I got $30,000 in my business and $30,000 in my emergency.
I'd sell a rental property.
Sell a rental property, man, be debt-free.
After you're married. I'm not walking around with $160,000 in student loan debt and rental properties on the books. Comes with a package, brother.
Yeah.
This is The Ramsey Show.
Stop Stop paying your overpriced wireless provider and switch to Pure Talk. They use the same network as the larger providers for much less. For just $30 a month, get unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data with no contract. The average family saves over $70 a month by switching to Pure Talk. Just go to puretalk.com and enter the promo code Ramsey to save 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, simply smarter wireless. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Heath and Morgan are with us in Columbus, Ohio. Says on my screen, you guys are debt-free. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesomeness. How much have you paid off?
$127,000 in 2 years and 19 days.
Good for you.
Wow, good job.
Well done. And your range of income during that 2 years?
Right around 108,000 to like 123,000.
Cool. What do y'all do for a living?
I'm a project manager at a public utility.
And
Your phone cut out. You're a what, Heather? I'm sorry, Morgan.
I'm a teacher.
You're a teacher. Great. Okay,
Yes.
Wonderful. So, what kind of debt was your $127,000?
It was like 96,000 in student loans, like 25,000 in cars, and around 6,000 or so in credit cards.
So how long y'all been married? About 5 years?
Yes.
Yeah, because that's about the level of stupid stuff you were doing. Yeah.
You have about 5 years worth of stupid. Good job.
Y'all were normal, huh? What happened?
Yeah.
What woke you up 2 years ago?
So I was at work one day and a coworker dropped your name. On my way home, I listened to the podcast, and a couple did their debt-free scream with almost the exact same income and the exact same amount of debt.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, man.
And now you're doing that to someone.
Yeah. I learned how possible it could be, and if I recall correctly, I think they were right around the 2-year mark as well. So I came home, told Morgan about this plan, and she was on board from day one.
Wow, just like that.
Yeah.
A podcast on the drive home after a quick mention. And
That's right.
Boom, here you go. You guys are easy to convince.
And so Morgan, he comes home and says, hey, I've got this wild idea. And you said, high five, let's do it.
Yeah, because the student loan debt was mine. So.
Okay, and it was, and there was no fun going on with all this stuff, right? It wasn't joyous.
Oh, no. There was some dramatic moments, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Morgan, I know the answer to this question, but I just want you to tell America. So put us in the teacher lounge at whatever school you're teaching, and as teachers sit around the table and talk, as they do, you've got $96,000 in student loans for a teacher's certificate, and I know you're not the only one. What is the debt burden like on these teachers?
It's quite extensive. A lot of teachers have student loan debt, and a lot of them only have bachelor's degrees. You know, I ended up with a master's degree, so that increased that loan, obviously. But yeah, I would say probably 80% of the teachers that I know have student loan debt.
Well, congratulations on working hard and getting out.
Yeah.
So good.
Thank you.
Proud of you guys. This is amazing what you've done. So when one of them asks you, how did you do it? What do you tell them the key to getting out of debt is?
So, one, we were both on board, and both we held each other accountable. We were willing to make the big sacrifices like downgrading in our vehicle choice and working together. And then also having a support group. We had a couple friends that really helped us through the journey and did the journey with us on their own accord.
Oh, cool. Okay, so you had some cheerleaders, and they were also working it.
Absolutely. Our friends Treg and Courtney were our biggest cheerleaders by far.
Very cool. Good. So you got all the information you needed off the podcast, or did you do something further?
We took Financial Peace University. After the podcast, I said, well, what what else is there? We need, I'm a teacher, so I need like rules and expectations. And he was like, well, there's a book, The Total Money Makeover. So we both read that. And then after that and listening to podcasts, we went ahead and purchased Financial Peace University and went through that to help. And we still use the Every Dollar app to this day for our budget.
Awesome.
And and all the baby steps from there. So
very cool. Very cool. Well, thanks for plugging into Ramsey Plus and doing all that. I'm so proud of you guys. Yeah. Very well done. Well, that's how I'm like you. Once somebody convinces me of something, I'm like, okay, what's the plan?
Right.
Well, what's the plan? What's the path? I need a path. Just show me what to do, and I'll go do it. I'm not real smart, but I can go do that. So, yeah. So, way to go, you guys. That's very, very well done. Very well done. What was the hardest part of the last 2 years?
I would say just staying the course. The first couple months are fun and exciting because you're making big progress, and then the last 16 months are not that fun and exciting. But if you keep your goal out in front of you and just stay the course, stick with the plan, and just don't give up.
Yeah. Okay. Way to go, guys.
It's awesome.
Very, very, very well done. Well, we've got a copy of The Legacy Journey for you because that's the next chapter in your story for sure. You've changed the legacy of your whole family in the last 2 years and 19 days. You changed the whole direction. You're really powerful people. Very well done, heroes. Very well done.
Thank you.
And I also got a copy of the Total Money Makeover for you. You already have one, but I'm not giving it to you for you. I'm giving it to you so you can give it away and pay it forward and get someone else started, and you can be their cheerleaders, just like that guy that had the same numbers as you and called in and did his debt-free scream, and y'all are doing yours today. So very well done. I'm sure somebody's listening that's going to have the exact same numbers as you. That's the way this works, guys. It always works this way. It always works this way. Nothing happens in a vacuum.
So cool.
Yeah, very well done. All right, Heath and Morgan, Columbus, Ohio, $127,000 paid off in 2 years and 19 days. They did it on $108,000 to $123,000 income. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
Yeah! Now, you got to understand the math here, okay? They got $108,000 coming in, and they paid off $50,000 a year, and they downgraded their car.
And they had 2 little kids.
And after taxes, that means they lived on nothing.
And she was a teacher during COVID.
Beans and rice and beans. That's what they did.
And if you're listening, you are out of excuses. You're out.
No more whining allowed.
You can't. They lived on nothing.
So shut up.
Man. No more excuses.
Yeah, really. They did.
Heath and Morgan, incredible.
Yeah, that's just, but you know. Well, you have my Starbucks every day. I can't not go out to eat. I mean, what kind of life would it be to not go on vacation for 2 years? Got rid of $127,000 worth of debt.
It's a life of 50 years of going wherever you want to go.
Hey, there it is.
Man, good for you guys.
So Dr. John Deloney and Rachel Cruz will be doing another Money and Marriage live stream 1 week from this Friday. That is on July the 16th, and it'll be a live stream. That's why we call it that. It's live. The two of them talking about money and marriage. They are fun and funny.
Up in the chaos this time. It's going to be a hoot, man.
And I bet it's going to be a hoot.
Have some fun, man.
It's only $20 to go through it. And you need to go ahead and get your ticket now. You can do that by texting marriage to 33789, marriage to 33789. Or you could just go ahead and go over to Ramsey Plus and sign up for Financial Peace University and Ramsey Plus and take a free trial. By the way, if you're in Ramsey Plus, you, guess what, get to watch if you're a member, you get to watch the Money and Marriage event as a part of your membership.
And I have people ask, hey, can I watch if I'm dating somebody? Of course. Can I watch it if I'm not dating anybody? I just want to learn. Yes. It's a good time, man. It'll be fun.
Yeah. It's going to be fun, funny. And it's great pre-marriage counseling.
Yeah. And it's great middle of marriage. What are we doing counseling?
It's like, whoa! Yeah, there you go. So the proven plan that is Financial Peace University, that's what they did. They went and signed up for it and got out of debt. And if you're a member, you do that at Ramsey Plus. And if you want a free trial of that, just text TRIAL to 33789. TRIAL to 33789. 789. This is The Ramsey Show. Personality is my co-host. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Thanks for joining us. Phone number is 888-825-5225. Brian is with us. Brian's in Pittsburgh. How are you, Brian?
Dave, I'm good. Thanks for taking a minute to talk with me.
My pleasure, sir. How can we help?
So I want to tell you, about 6 weeks ago, I ran into a friend of mine that retired, and he was telling me how great it was and asked me, how much longer do you have? I said, 12 years. And he started telling me, get ready, debt-free, that's the only way to go. I hear him, don't pay a lot of attention to it. My son tells me a week after that, hey, I'm listening to this Ramsey show. Never heard of it before. I said, what is he, new Howard Stern? I don't know. Never heard of it.
Yes, he is.
A couple more.
Howard's got much better hair than I've got.
Yeah. So he tells me this a couple more times. I'm on a trip for work. I got a lot of windshield time. I turn it on. I listen to 6 podcasts back to back to back, and I'm going to tell you, I'm hooked. I get it. I am bought in.
Wow.
So I heard you say, hey, you got to know everything that's going out, everything that's coming in, and what's your debt. So I did that. I spent about 30 hours on that last week. And let me tell you, it's scary. It's emotional. It was tough.
Yeah.
And so I've got some debt, and my question for you is, I have about $12,000 and change that we have invested in the stock market, single stocks. And is it smarter to leave that there as a savings? I know there's a risk there. Or is it better to pull every penny out of that and put it towards the debt that we have? And that would take care of, 20, 25% of it.
Okay.
But my goal, I want to be debt-free. I got 12 more years to retire, and I want to be debt-free when we get there, and I want to do it. And my wife's bought in on it now.
Okay. So you got about $50,000 worth of debt and $12,000 in stock.
66,247 to be exact.
All right. Good deal. What's your household income?
About 180, 190 annually.
Okay. All right. So you've been listening, and you know some of the lingo now and some of the process and the baby steps and all of that, right? And so baby step 2 is where you are, paying off all debt except a house, using the debt snowball, listing your debts smallest to largest, paying minimum payments on everything but the little one, attack the little one. We stop all investing temporarily, and we use all money that we can get our hands on that is not in a retirement account to throw at baby step 2. And that's a standard baby step 2 answer, which would lead us to cashing out your stock and paying off a fourth of your debt.
Okay. Not saving like when you talk about emergency funds, leave that there. We got some cash saving.
How much cash do you have in savings?
I don't know, 11, 12 grand, something like that.
Okay. Baby step 1 is $1,000 saved. Anything above that goes on baby step 2 until baby step 2 is done. And so I'm going to use that money as well, down to $1,000, which is going to scare the pee-wadding out of you, by the way.
That scares the hell out of me.
I know. And it should, but you're not going to live there for very long, because now we've paid off $23,000 of your $66,000, if I did my math right just now. And you have enough income to clear the rest of it very, very quickly. And as soon as it's cleared, then the first order of business is baby step 3, and that's build your emergency fund back up to a full 3 to 6 months of expenses, which it's not now. It's kind of anemic right now. It's weak.
Right.
The two together would make a decent emergency fund if you didn't have any debt. But that's what we teach. And here's the reason. It's not to induce fear, but the fear will also help be one of your motivators. That oh crap moment you just had, that thing where your stomach just kind of jumped up in your throat, just at the mere suggestion of doing this. And we hadn't even done it, but just the idea, you go, oh, we all do that. We all have a physical reaction to that. That is going to drive you to stick with the plan. Now, to suggest that you keep a $1,000 emergency fund for 5 years or something would be ludicrous, and I don't suggest that. But we're talking about just a mere months here. Again, what was your household income?
180, 190.
Okay, so how fast do you pay off $50,000? 6 months? $40,000. Like what? I mean, less than 6 months, right?
Well, my goal was 2 years. I wanted to do it before I'm 50. So
that sucks.
That's way too long,
bro. Sucks. You make $180,000 a year. I need $40,000 of 180. This is 6 months.
How much of this is car debt?
I want $5,000 a month on this debt. I want you to smack the crap out of it.
All right.
And then you're done by Christmas, dude. Now, by Christmas, you're starting to rebuild this emergency fund from $1,000 up. And then as soon as you've got that 3 to 6 months of expenses, then you restart your 401k. Oh, by the way, you putting money in the 401k right now?
I took your advice and I backed it down to the minimum that the company matches.
Okay. That wasn't my advice. My advice was stop it.
Oh, stop it altogether. Well, I misunderstood. I thought you were saying, don't let the free money go that the company matches.
No.
Not
So,
when you're in the hole, man.
You're just getting started on all this. You're trying. So what I'm doing is I'm not making fun of you and I'm not picking at you, but I'm giving you the detail that you haven't gotten in the last couple of weeks of exposure yet. And so what I need to do is I'm going to send you the game plan with all the nuanced detail, the baby steps on steroids. It's a best-selling book called The Total Money Makeover. I'm going to give it to you as a gift. Hold on. Kelly's going to pick up. I'm going to mail you one. And you read that thing and your wife read that thing, and you'll see what I'm talking about. 180 minus 40, you can make it on. Okay, or easily. 90 minus 40. 90 in the next 6 months minus 40, and you're done by Christmas, you can make it on. And I just put 11 and 12 on the debt. So I know I put 23 out of there, so it's 43 left. Right. And so, yeah, you're there. You're going to be there. And that's what I would do if I woke up in your shoes. The great news is you've found a new thing here, and you're fired up about it, but it's about to get real.
That's right. So imagine this. This is the feeling you had, Brian, when you spent 30 hours and you put that debt down and you got emotional. That's you on the plains of Africa, and you're a gazelle, and you just stuck your head up, and you just saw that lion in the grass. And now you got to take off running, man, and that's what the next 6-7 months is going to be. It's going to be a all-out, gut-wrenching sprint.
Gazelle intensity.
That's right. Because they're coming for you, man. They're coming.
You got to run!
Hey, and I want to mention this. I don't want this to fly by, Dave, and I know this makes me sound sappy. It takes a special level of courage for a grown man making this kind of money, which means he's got some ego, some strength. His son came in and said, "Dad, I think you should look at this." And most dads in this situation go, "Shut up." And he listened. He just listened.
The approach on the call was humble.
It was a humble call, and I want everybody out there, if your son comes and says, "Hey, can we just talk, Dad?" Take that breakfast, take that conversation, man. That took a lot of courage for a son to do, and I'm proud of him, but I'm proud of that dad for listening, man. That's cool.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often.
It's cool.
But Brian's got a thing going.
He does, man. I like Brian.
He's comfortable in his own skin.
Yeah.
Strong, but making good decisions. So yeah, you're gonna go do this, Brian, and then you're gonna call us back, do your debt-free scream. We're gonna hear a great story from you. It's gonna be awesome.
You know what I love about Brian is I guarantee he's a leader, and as a leader, he approached this with the appropriate skepticism, and then he did the math. And then as a good leader, he went, "Oh, crap." You know what I mean? That's a good leader, man. Not that everything's perfect. Not that I got to come up with some stupid excuse, but I can see the data, and I can go, "Whoops, we need to change course quick."
Right? Yeah. I don't think I did that one right.
I love it, man. I love it.
There's a formula here for everybody listening.
Yeah.
That involves life change. Bible says, "Be not conformed to this world."
Yeah.
This world's broke.
Yep.
I mean, normal is looking good and no money.
Yep.
Normal is you're driving a car with a big butt payment on it. Normal is you got a student loan that's been around so long you think it's a pet.
Yeah.
Normal is, you've discovered MasterCard.
Yes.
And discovered bondage and American distress. Yeah. This is normal. Normal sucks, but it looks good. Everybody's walking around with a smile on their face.
You and your wife don't like each other.
Living in the land of denial.
And you don't
I'm not
sleep.
talking about a river in Egypt. Seriously. But when you stick your head up and you go, game on, baby. I'm not going to be normal anymore. Be not conformed to this world. Be transformed by what Brian's doing. The renewing of your mind. New information will set you free, baby. This is The Ramsey Show. Have a friend or family member that needs a daily dose of Ramsey advice in their life? Let them know about the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast. It's a quick hit of advice about life and money in under 10 minutes. Check out the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Thank you for joining us, America. We're so glad you're here. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. We appreciate you guys being with us. Jump in. We'll talk about your life and your money. You can hear Dr. John's show on as a podcast and on YouTube as well. It's a we put it out a couple times a week, and if you want to be a caller on that, you are more than welcome. We would love to have you participate with him on that. And you can call and leave a voicemail at 844-693-3291, or you can email askjohn@ramseysolutions.com. His show's all about mental health and about boundaries and about anxiety and about dealing with all kinds of relationship issues. And so he's here to answer your questions about that kind of stuff today, as well as jump in on these other calls, and we'll just dive in and do that. But if you got a particular question, again, 888-825-5225. Join me right now. Heather's in West Palm Beach. Hey, Heather, what's up?
Hey, how are you, Dave? Nice to speak with you today.
You too. How can I help?
So we have a house, and long story short, it went into foreclosure due to some mistreatment of, it was a Bank of America. Anyhow, long story short, we have a modification, but the interest rate is at like a 5-something, and we have a balloon payment at the end of, I believe, $85,000. And I just wanted to know, would you advise trying to sell the house if I can get out of it free and clear, or should we just stay the course, working to pay off the house and then deal with that balloon at the end?
Well, it sounds like it sucks on the interest rate, and you've got a ticking time bomb in there.
Yes, sir. Also,
do you have the ability to refinance, or is your credit destroyed in this process?
No, our credit is working back up. A few years ago, we did get onto the baby steps, and we have paid off all those credit cards, and I've closed them out. We've really done an amazing job.
Can you refinance the house?
Yes, that was my next question.
Well, do you want to stay? Do you want to stay?
We do want to. I don't want to stay, but the situation that we're in, with work and everything, we need to stay. No,
wait a minute. Work does not demand you live in that house.
You're allowing a lot of other voices to speak into what you want. What do you want to do?
Okay.
Do you want to live in this house or not live in this house? You are not as trapped as you think you are.
I don't want to live in the house.
Okay.
I don't.
Sell it.
Yeah, sell the house.
It's a house.
Okay.
There's another one down the street.
I know. I'm so nervous with the housing market being crazy right now that we wouldn't be able, especially where we live. Houses are just flying, they're sold left and right before you can even get your foot in the door to take a look. They're under contract.
Okay.
So
and you're going to benefit from that too.
So that means you're going to get premium price for your house.
Yeah. And if you have to rent for a season while you heal, you're not well. You haven't healed yet. You're still scanning every square inch of your environment for somebody coming to get you. And it makes it hard to make simple decisions like, I don't want to live in this house anymore. I want to be able to sleep all night, right? You're still on high alert.
What's your household income?
My household income is around $120,000.
And how much debt do you guys have, not counting the house, left?
18.
Okay. And so what would the house, how much money would you have in your pocket if you sold the house from the sale of the house, your equity?
I'm looking at what the payoff would be. That's the problem that I'm having is I'm looking at it like $20,000. And to me, I don't know. That's scary,
Well, you make $120,000 a year. You're 100% debt-free when you sell this house. You got out of a bad interest rate with a ticking time bomb in a house you don't even like.
And you go rent for 24 months, let the market cool off. You guys exhale and heal and have a good time. Enjoy your life. Save up a down payment.
Pile up a down payment and go buy again.
Game on.
2 years from today.
And me and Dave aren't that smart, and we just solved all your problems. There's something about not letting...
I think most of that statement is true.
There's something... Hey, listen, in all seriousness, there's something about when you feel like everything's breathing down your neck, it's hard to just get perspective. And
yes, it is. And, my husband, if I can interrupt really quick, my husband has a wonderful job. He loves his job immensely.
Great. Great.
So I guess we would just have to, that's why I would love to relocate to a different state, but he loves his job, and I'm very happy that
would be a different discussion than we've been having.
Another conversation for another time. That's a conversation you have when you're not being hounded.
If y'all did that, leaving a rental property behind would be easier.
That is very true.
So let's get this part straightened out, and then let's make the decisions later on his career.
Okay.
Do you hate the house, or you just don't want to live in that town anymore? You want to move away?
I don't want to live in the town. To be honest with you,
is it the house though? I mean, I understand you're not leaving because he's got a good job. We've already established that.
Right.
At least now.
I love the house. I love the house in the fact that it has everything. We're short a bedroom, but that's not a big deal, But it has things for the kids, like it has a pool. So, I mean, it is a great location. It's central to everything. I think I don't like the house because I feel this mortgage is like the gray cloud.
There you go. It's a shame factory. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's reset then, because I'm getting new information that I didn't have earlier. All right. So what would happen if you refinanced and you promised yourself we're going to stay 2 years?
I could totally do that.
And do you like the house then?
Probably not. I'd probably move.
After 2 years or now?
After 2 years. I mean, if we could...
You would move inside... Let's say your husband kept his job. Would you move inside West Palm?
No. No. I wouldn't. I want to move... I want to move out of West Palm.
So, Heather, let me tell you this. Your husband loves his job, and he's making good money. He's whatever. I promise you, more than his job, he wants a spouse who loves her life. And I think y'all need to have that conversation.
Yeah, we're gonna have to pan back and make the decision on this job and this West Palm thing, because you're getting all this confused back and forth.
That's right.
Every time I go around the barn, you go through a different door, so you're circling yourself, girl. So here's the thing: if you're gonna stay in the area and you like the particular home, you would refinance. Period. Right. If you're not going to stay in the area, you would sell it and leave the area.
You gotta do something and stop standing there spinning around.
This back and forth with the husband, and I don't like West Palm, but I sort of like the house, but I don't like the mortgage. But
you got a ticking time bomb on you.
You do need to get rid of the mortgage.
Yes.
Something needs to happen. Sell the house or refinance, one of the two. But you need to do one or the other.
Still on baby step number 1, eh?
How'd you guess?
With healthcare costs rising, learn how Christian Healthcare Ministries can help you make the most out of your budget. Visit chministries.org/budget.
Don't worry, it's worth it.
John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Here at Ramsey Solutions, we're on a mission to transform so many lives that disruption spreads like wildfire through this toxic culture. So many things out there that need changing, and we're in the business of helping people change them. So whether it's your finances, your career, your mental health, your marriage, we're in these businesses, and we're here to help you with the process. If you want to join us on this crusade, we are on the hunt for software engineers with expertise in Ruby on Rails, Java, C#, front-end technologies. If you're a UX designer, SEO, content marketing specialist, data analyst, we've got about 300 positions to fill. We currently have about 400 and some odd of our 1,000 team members that are tech, because a lot of the stuff we do is digital, obviously. And so it's a complete technology company, concealed behind a broadcast. But if you guys have any interest in that, we'd love to have you. We need some help here. We're going to hire, as I said, about 300 folks this year. And if you're interested, text the work to 33789, and you can find out any of our available jobs. There's technology as well as other things, so lots and lots of stuff going on. Senior devs, big time here. And so text the word work to 33789 and find out about all the opportunities at Ramsey Solutions. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. Find out for yourself why Blinds.com, this great American company, is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. With free samples, free shipping, and the new promos they run all the time, you'll save even more. Use the promo code Ramsey to get the best possible deal.
All right, today's question comes from Hannah in Florida. I am 21, married, and a new parent to a son. My parents approached me recently about funding their retirement because I, quote, owe them. There's been a lot of damage done in the past, and to be completely honest, I have lost respect for them. Well, no kidding. I'm unsure how to handle this.
Me too, and I just met them.
Yeah. I'm uninviting them to my birthday just on this. I'm
no
unsure
pizza for you, Mom.
How to handle this and where to go with the relationship. I think the famous song says, get that dirt off your shoulder, brush it off and move on. I don't know what to say, man. You don't owe your parents retirement.
God.
Yes, there's clearly been a lot of damage done, and now they're circling back for
round 2, round 7.
Yeah.
7, yeah.
At this point, you need to be confident and strong. You've got a new family, and unfortunately, the old saying goes, not by your hand, but in your lap. Somebody put a grenade in your lap, and you got to deal with it. And that means you've got to be the adult in the situation. And
you're 21.
I think there's here's how I approach this, Dave. She gets the opportunity to demonstrate how an adult handles problems. And so it could be easy to say, I'm going to block them, never talk to him again. And what that does is it shoves that problem in a box and throws it in the ocean. But the problem's still there. I think she reaches out, probably in writing, and says, I'm not going to do this. And by the way, me and my husband have talked about boundaries, and here's how we're moving forward. This is so toxic and so gross. I don't even know what to do with it. But it is what it is, and those parents do exist.
Proof you don't have to pass a test to be a parent, right? Because some of you people would flunk. All right, now start again. But, wow. Pick up Henry Cloud's book, Boundaries, honey. Yeah. Because you're going to have to learn to set them, and you're 21 years old. Yeah. And it's not fair that this is coming at you. Your parents are weird. You don't owe them a retirement. And what you can do is just lovingly but very strong say, smile, calm, no yelling, no screaming, no cussing. No, we don't owe you a retirement, and no, we're not doing that. What we owe you is to love you, and we do that. We love you, and we cheer for you, and we hope it works out for you good. We hope you do well, and we'll be cheering for you. And, if you're ever hungry, holler, and we'll make you a meal. You can come over and hang out as long as you behave while you're here. That's right. But you don't have to cut them out of your life. You don't have to hold them back. Now, I will warn you this. Okay, when people that don't have good boundaries, i.e. your parents, okay, e.g. your parents, people that don't have good boundaries, when you give them boundaries, they generally don't like it.
They flip out.
So do not expect this to go like, oh, darling, I'm sorry, I never thought about it that way. No, these are people that are going to go,
you're ungrateful, we paid for this.
Dadgum travel agent for guilt trips.
That's right.
And that's what they're going to be. So, no, don't expect anything but them to go cray-cray on you.
And just because something is uncomfortable or just because something breaks your heart doesn't mean it's the wrong thing. Expect them to come back and make you sad, to hurt your feelings, to be immature morons, and you still did the right thing.
Because we kind of have established that they are that.
Wow.
Already.
I'm trying to put myself in a situation where I would... Can you imagine calling Rachel and Daniel in? Hey, guys, listen, me and your mom did some calculations.
Remember that time I bought you diapers? You owe me.
I've done the math. And
remember that time I fed you? You owe me. You remember that time I,
just whatever.
Did whatever for you like a parent would do? Yeah, but you now owe me.
I can't even wrap my head around that conversation.
Yeah, and it's just...
Man, I'm sorry that you're going through this, Hannah.
It's heartbreaking, and honey, this is not going to be easy, and it's not going to be over quick. But the answer is you don't owe them, and you have to gently and kindly say, no. All I owe you is to love you, and I will pay that debt.
And she points to it. I know this isn't the first time you've been put in a situation with him. It won't be the last time. That's why Dave's recommendation, that book Boundaries, practice with you and your husband. Y'all come up with some rules of the road for your new family and stick to them, man.
Yeah. And then you decide how much access they have to your kid, because are they going to misbehave around your kid, and that's what you're going to be facing.
Ugh.
So it's harsh. And what's sadness? John, you have a big career ahead of you, my man.
Man.
There's a lot of people in America that need you.
I'll tell you what.
David is in Waco, Texas. Hi, David. How are you?
Good. Hi, Mr. Ramsey. Hi, Dr. D. Thanks for having me.
Great. How can we help?
My question is, I got a house question for you guys. My grandfather did well in his career and lived well below his means, so he set up a trust account for each of his grandchildren, me included. So currently the trust account is about $1.1 million. And so one of the reasons, or one of the few ways that I can use the trust account before age 40 is in buying a house. And so my wife and I are currently looking at buying a house. And so I was just wondering, how much would you spend from the trust on that house? And then also, I just wanted to confirm that you would buy that house in full using the money.
Oh, absolutely. I'll pay cash for it. No doubt about it. And what's your household income?
So it was $120 last year. I'm going to take the year off to get a master's degree in accounting. And so my wife's income is going to be $50,000. So then once I get my degree, then it'll go back up.
Okay. I don't know why you have to take time off to get a master's in accounting. You can do that in the evenings.
Yeah, every single one of my grad degrees was working full time, but that's a different phone call, I guess. Here's what I would tell you. In Waco, you can buy a house that is $185,000. That's a remarkable home, and then you can go bananas and buy $1 million house.
So what are you thinking about spending?
Yeah, so we were thinking somewhere, I don't know, in the 300 range.
That's fine.
Our total max would be 400. We don't want to do more than that.
Yeah,
but
I think that's fine. Pay cash for it, and then. Okay. But I'm also going to challenge you to rethink taking a year off. I think you just go to class in the evenings and finish your master's. In accounting. But without getting into the detail of it, I'm just challenging you to rethink that.
I'm with you. I think it'll be better for everybody.
Yeah. But aside from that, $120,000, $150,000 income, $400,000 paid for house out of the trust makes sense. Oh, make sure you're paying yourself a house payment after that, so that you become wealthy like your grandpa. That'd be an idea.
Pay it forward.
This is the Ramsey Show. They're here in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Sean and Kim are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. Welcome. Where do you guys live?
San Antonio right now.
All right. Fun. Well, good-looking family. How much debt have you guys paid off?
$139,500.
Good for you. And how long did that take?
6 months going Dave-ish, and another 24 months fully focused.
Got it. And your range of income during that 30 months?
About $110,000 to $190,000.
Whoa, nice jump. What do you guys do for a living?
I'm in the Army.
And I'm a school teacher.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, thank you for your service. What caused the jump in income to almost double?
School teacher.
School teacher.
I got a job. I was a stay-at-home mom for
you went into the workplace.
Since he was 2, so yes.
Okay. Yep. What do you teach?
3rd grade currently.
Wow, and thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you might have a harder job.
I think so.
Not the 3rd graders. They're precious. It's their stupid parents.
Wow.
So, way to go, guys.
That's incredible, guys.
So honored to have you. What kind of debt was the $140,000?
Almost everything you can think of. So we had three car loans, a boat loan, student loan, a personal loan, 2 credit cards. Those were pretty big. I think that was about everything but medical debt, and 2 cell phones also.
Y'all were like normal.
Yep.
That was awful.
Yes, it was.
Man, that's just amazing. How long you guys been married? 10 years?
15.
15 years, yeah, okay. Now 15, but just a little over 10 when you did that. Started this thing 30 months ago, 2.5 years ago, so 12 years, yeah.
Correct.
All right, so after 10, 12 years of marriage, you look up and go, hey, this plan's not working. What happened? Tell me the story.
Well, we've actually done this a couple of times. So, like through deployments, we would come back kind of free of credit card debt and get ourselves to a comfortable place, and then we would kind of fall back into that same routine. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of a habit that we started doing. But then we got Dave-ish a little while. He had gone to through the chaplain services on post. They were offering the
Financial Peace
University? Yes.
Yeah. The military version is taught millions, so pretty cool.
So I started taking that, and like Kim said, we had been in and out of debt. However, we never thought of paying off all the cars and having that, and no credit cards at all. It was I'd pay the credit card off while deployed, and I'd save up some money, and then I'd come home and I'd think about all the money that I just saved, and we'd spend it all. So, for example, the last deployment, I got home, we paid off all the credit card debts, still had all the car loan. I thought that was normal, and then I bought $6,000 worth of dogs. 2 dogs, just blew everything that we saved.
Dogs?
Yep, 2 dogs.
What kind of dogs?
An English Mastiff. We were in Italy at the time, so I got an English Mastiff from Hungary and a Tamascan from England.
Of course you did.
Yep, and they were thousands each.
Apparently.
Spent everything and then got right back into debt.
That sounds so much like something I would do. That's awesome. And Sharon's looking just like her. She's looking at me like I've lost my mind. You did what? You bought dogs?
Of course, they were surprises to Kim. You know.
Yeah.
Wait till you hear the car story, though.
Yeah.
Which? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, which one?
Oh, birthday present?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
So I
watching too many Lexus commercials where you put a big red bow
Please
on
tell
it.
me you
Did
bought her a
you?
jacked up
Actually,
Jeep.
I did. Exactly.
I did it
Big
one time
magnetic-
too. I did it too one time.
But it was a Range Rover. Yep.
Oh. Wow. Yeah, we don't go big unless we don't go unless we go big. This is awesome.
That's right.
You guys are fun. What a mess.
That was our second Range Rover, though. So
It was. We sold the first one after we had this guy,
What a
and we
mess.
bought a third row. Thought that was better for us.
Yeah, you needed one. Yeah.
Got rid of the first Range Rover, and then I thought, oh, she still needs one, so I bought her
so
another.
you're in Financial Peace University, and this thing, like, it's like me with a 2x4 smashing you in the face, I guess. And you came home and you told her we're going to do it again.
Yes, but much different. I went through a lot of the classes that I was learning, all the things that I was learning from you, and told her some of the new lessons that I had learned. No car debt was a big one. Cutting up the credit cards completely. I kind of knew that rule, but I just never did it. So,
So Kim, what was your reaction when you first saw this? You think it was Here We Go Again?
no, I didn't actually. We had heard about you and the programs and what we could eventually achieve, and so it was my suggestion that we get rid of my birthday present, because that was just a huge hindrance, preventing us from really attacking our goals. So once we did that, that really kind of put us on a better track. So
that was probably a point of no return for me when she said, "Hey, we probably need to sell this," because we were a couple months in. This was the Davish time. A couple months in, I was clinging onto that because it was a birthday present for us. I felt really bad getting rid of it. I actually sold my 2002 Camaro Z28 that I had for 11 years. I sold that so I could have a little bit of cash to keep her truck.
Wow.
So getting rid of her truck was like the final.
That's when when it broke loose.
We're not going back.
What about the dogs? Did you sell them?
Oh, we still have them.
Okay, good.
they're hanging on.
I'm glad the dogs made it.
They're paid
John,
off.
just so you know, John, he thought about selling you before he got rid of that Z28. He thought about it. Can I keep the Camaro and get rid of one of the three?
Oh, you laugh.
Yeah, the teenager could go. The teenager could go. We keep the car, yeah. Oh, you guys. So what do you tell people the secret to getting out of debt is now that you've done it?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think just basically being on the same page, having a goal, and really having a vision and sticking to it. I know personally for me, it was really easy when I would look at, do I really want to shop, or do I really want this dream house? I was trying to look at what we wanted our future to look like. And, after retirement, when we would look at homes and I would show him all these ones I wanted, and he was like, we won't be able to afford that. And I was like, excuse me? Maybe I don't need those shoes. So, just keeping an eye on your end goal and working together. We always communicated about everything. We were always on the same page with everything. So that really helped.
For me, I think a lot of people say the budget, and for a decade plus, I was very meticulous with a budget. I'm that Excel spreadsheet guy who has every number accounted for and everything. It's just that I was including debt into it, so it was fine. We were on a budget, but we were still using those credit cards. So sticking to a budget and having the right budget is key. But getting rid of the credit cards was probably one of the big things for me. I cut them all up, closed all the accounts. And I think that was the first big step, not having that safety net. And that the safety net was the $1,000, the baby step one, and then building that safety net, bigger and bigger. So that the safety net becoming cash rather than a credit card was a big.
Yeah, if you have a drinking problem, you have to get all the alcohol out of the house. That's what it amounts to, and that's
right.
what you finally did it. I mean, you finally took that scissors and had plastic surgery, and that was a breakthrough. That was emotional. Yeah, when you did that. Very good.
Yep.
Congratulations, you guys. How's it feel?
Thank you, sir. Feels great. Liberating.
Was it worth it?
Absolutely.
For sure.
I wish I could go back in time and kick my 20-year-old butt and have started a lot earlier. But
yeah, don't we all?
Yeah.
And so, Kim?
Yes.
Will you ever go back?
Absolutely not.
Will you allow him to?
I don't think we'll allow each other to.
There you go. Good answer. Better answer than me baiting you. Okay.
And the next time you can just go to the pound for $30.
Oh my!
But you haven't seen these dogs.
Both of them are beautiful animals.
I guarantee they're incredible.
They're incredible animals.
But I think I got out of the hospital for less than $3,000 with both my kids. So just saying.
Yeah, you did. All right, count it down, guys. $140,000 paid off in 6 months, and 30 months rather, making $110 to $190. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free!
Yeah! Woohoo! Love it! Yeah! Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Steve is in Kansas City. Hi, Steve. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi there, gentlemen. Thank you for having me. How are you today?
Better than we deserve, sir. What's up?
I have a question about buying a car when you drive for a living at a very expensive amount of miles.
How many miles a year are you driving?
I drive about 14,000 a month, so I think that's right around almost 150,000 a year.
Good Lord.
Whoa.
When do you get out of the car?
Yeah.
You must live in the thing.
I do, actually. When I'm on the road, I do live in it.
Wow. What do you do?
I deliver campers from the manufacturer to dealers all across America.
Okay, so this is a vehicle that has to tow?
Yes, those are towing miles.
Okay. All right. Wow. And what do you make a year?
This is my first year doing it, but I'm on pace to make just under 6 figures.
Okay. And are these contracts or as an employee?
I'm 1099, so it's my own personal vehicle, and I work when I want to. I choose where I go. It's a great job, but it's crap on vehicles.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so you own a business that it's a one-person business, but let's put that in perspective. And part of your expense of operating your business is you destroy a vehicle once a year.
Correct.
And so we've got to budget that in. And so what we want to do is destroy the least number of dollars possible and still get the job done. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
It's an expense of running a business. So what do we want to do? We want to get the job done at the least possible expense. And so I don't buy the fanciest, obviously. I buy the least thing, because whatever it is, I'm going to lose the money. So do we want to, will a $10,000 truck get this job done? Maybe. Probably a $20,000 truck. You don't need a $30,000 truck. Right?
Well, the only stipulation to that is it has to be a diesel vehicle. You cannot be leased on with any company. You're not allowed to pull a camper with less than a 3/4 ton diesel. And new, those are running 60 to 60,000 plus.
Yeah. So you don't buy them.
So
new.
I mean, even a used one is 30 grand plus.
Okay. So if you buy a $30,000 one and you put 110,000 miles on it, what's it worth after that?
Well, with the market right now, it's right around probably 20-ish.
So it would only go down $10,000 for putting 110,000 miles on it in 1 year.
Mm-hmm. With the market the way it is now, with the computer chip issue and everything, yes, they're holding the value a ton.
Not that. That's not right. You're wrong. They're not holding. You did not lose only $10,000 in value putting 110,000 miles on a $30,000 truck. That's just not right, dude. You're not operating with real information here. Okay, that truck's worth 10 after you're done with it at most. And I know the market's hot, and I know there's computer chip issues, and I know trucks are hot, and I know the used car market's hot. I'm on top of every bit of that. It's part of what we do around here. But I do not think that truck only went down $10,000. But so the bottom line, though, is it's going to go down between $10,000 and $20,000. We can agree on that. You think 10, I think 20. So somewhere in there is probably right. And so that's what it's going to cost you every year. If you buy a 30 and you sell it for 15, it costs you $15,000, and you buy another 30 and you sell it for 15, it's going to cost you $15,000. And if you can do that every year, that's your formula. If that will get the job done and be reliable, and I think it'll be reliable, but I would try to do it cheaper. I'd try to buy a 25 and sell it for 15.
Or buy a 30 and keep it for 2 years or 3 years.
Yeah, well, if it's diesel and you maintain it, maybe you can put 250,000 miles on it in 2 years and then see what it's worth and see how much you lose. But the bottom line is, how can we run this formula where you lose the least money and still get the job done, and don't get into the rationalization of this? Because this is a business expense. That's all it is. And the problem is, you spend so stinking much time in it that every little thing that goes wrong with it, every little tiny thing is going to be magnified in your emotions, and it's going to cause you to lose your judgment. But just pretend like you are running a fleet. You are a fleet manager. How can I run this business for the least possible expense, thereby increasing my profit the most? And so the most you ought to spend is 30, I can tell you that. And I'd try to get the job done for less than that.
Dave, help me with this. So I can imagine being a 50-year-old man, and I'm just making up a number, I don't know how old this guy is, looking for work. I find this job. I sit down and meet with them. They map it out for me, and suddenly I'm making $90,000 a year. Feels incredible. And I take the job, and then here's all the stuff that comes with it. I can imagine not doing the math and sitting down and saying, okay, I got to buy a $30,000 truck. It's going to cost me $10,000 in gas. It's going to cost me $10,000 or $5,000 in eating and meals on the road. Suddenly, this $90,000 job can really quickly turn into a $45,000 or $50,000 a year job, of which there may be more locally, right? Is that a bad way to look at this?
No, that's actually very accurate. You have to run a P&L on this business.
You can get real excited about this bottom number, but
your top number doesn't matter except to the extent it affects your bottom number, and so.
And it takes your soul from you that many days on the road.
Yeah, you're out there by yourself a long time. You're a truck driver.
Yeah.
And so, you're gone and over the road. And so, you've got the cost of the loss in value. You've got the cost of the operation. And you've got the additional costs that you wouldn't have at home for food or hotels or whatever. Now, he says stay in the truck probably.
Yeah, but you got to take showers. You got and the gasoline prices, all that stuff.
Diesel prices. But you're hitting the truck stops, and that's what he's doing. But you do have to say, I'm going to keep an accurate number here, because you can get enamored with 100,000.
That's right.
And if you don't take all these other numbers off and get down to the reality, which is, it's probably 50 or 60 grand.
Right.
And
I always want somebody to look at that against, like, being a manager of a fast food restaurant and making $50,000 that's down the street from you, right? It may not have the same prestige, but man, if you look at on paper, is it dollar for dollar very similar, right?
Yeah, and so it's but you're self-employed, and you have to be careful.
Oh, plus you got to pull out 30% out of all this.
Here's the thing too: if you mess this up emotionally, and the subject of his call, what car do I buy? And you buy a $60,000 new.
Oh, man.
And you turn that into 25 in 1 year or 30 in 1 year. Now you've lost 30.
And I didn't think about that $90,000. You got to pull 30 out for taxes because you're self-employed on a 1099. So you're down.
Everybody's got taxes. That's
right.
You don't have taxes either way.
But you're down to 6. That just feels like it goes pretty quick.
It's the taxes will be on the net profit, not on the top,
not on the top
number. But still, just the same. You'd have to manage the taxes as well. And you do have an extra self-employment tax. You pay both sides of FICA.
There you go. Yeah.
And so it is because the government loves small business.
They love them.
So he taxes more.
That's right.
So, but anyway, all of that does figure in, but you got to be real careful because when you're that engaged in something, and we run into it around here, when we're, the computer guys come in and tell us we need these computers. And when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail, right? And I'm going, but that's a lot of money.
Right.
And it's like real money because we don't borrow money, and it's like my money. And so tell me again how else we can do that job cheaper without doing that, because this doesn't sound like minimal functional to me. This sounds like you just pitched me a Bentley and not a minimal car that gets the job done. And so we had, but when you're a computer guy, the answer to everything's a computer.
Yeah.
And when you're when you're audio guy, the answer to everything's audio.
When you're a car guy, everything, let's start with Bentley and work backwards. Just
when you're on the road in your car all the time, and if you're not real careful, you can, as a small business person, you can eat up your profits by your toys that you're buying.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
That's what happens all the time.
Do the math is what I'm saying.
You're right. This is the Ramsey Show.
It's Kelly, associate producer and phone screener for The Ramsey Show. If you would like to do your debt-free scream live on the show, make sure you visit theramseyshow.com and register. We would love for you to come to Nashville and tell Dave your story.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Thank you for joining us, America. We're so glad you're here. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Noah is with us in Phoenix, Arizona. Hi, Noah. Welcome to the Ramsey Show. Dr. John Deloney is my co-host today. How can we help?
Hey there, Dave. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
My family, my parents helped me. We actually just moved down from Washington about 8 months ago, and my family helped me buy a house in Arizona, and the housing market's so much cheaper here. They actually recently just decided to purchase. They also purchased a house down here, and so they also recently just decided to build a new house in the same city. And so they're going to be. They actually co-signed with me for the house that they helped me buy, and they want to refinance to get the house off their. To get the loan off their back, so then it'll just be on my name, and then they can have more room for whatever they're doing. I'm curious if I should possibly sell the house or like when we refinance, because the house has already made a bunch of positive equity, or if I should refinance like they say.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
And you said we. Are you married?
I'm sorry. It's just me, Noah.
Okay. All right. And so you bought a house, and how much do you owe on the house?
It's about $247,000, so $247,000.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what do you make?
So I did the math here. I actually have renters. I live in the house. I live in one of the rooms. Two of the renters also live in the
now,
house.
not counting the renters, what is your income, sir?
So without the renters, it's only after tax it's about $33,000. Before tax it's about $39,000.
What do you do for a living?
But with renters, it's about $46,000 after tax.
Okay, well, let me help you with this. You make $33,000 a year. You can't afford a $250,000 house. You can't afford. You can't afford the house. You can't refinance it. You won't qualify for the loan. You understand?
Yeah, I get you.
Not even close. When you make $40,000 a year, you cannot qualify for a $250,000 mortgage.
Got it.
Because the payment is as much as you make, man.
Well, it is, and I checked it out. So where if I did not have renters, I would, and I'm already if I did not have renters, I would be paying. I would be breaking about even, but because I have renters, I'm also paying for college on top of this. So it's about
yeah, but the
$1,000
mortgage
or
company, when you go to refinance, will not qualify you based on renters. They will not use you renting out the bedroom as a way to pay your bill when your payment is equal to your income.
I would sell the house and take the equity and pay for college.
Yeah, you need to sell the house and go rent something really cheap yourself and finish up college and get your income up and then talk about buying later.
And this is going to be a hard conversation because your parents probably gave you some story about equity.
Your parents
and all that
are out of
stuff.
their dadgum minds.
Yeah.
To have put you in this mess to start with, to have assisted you to get into this trap. I mean, dude, if your roommates don't pay 1 month, you don't even eat if you pay your house payment. This is cray-cray. This mathematics math on this is nuts.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you have really stepped deep into a hole here.
And even for them to have to get off of a cosign so that they can buy a second house and build it versus they're playing a shell game too, man.
Yeah, it sounds like they're in a mess themselves, but that's another story. Yeah. But yeah, for you're 25 years old, you're going to college, you're making $35,000, $39,000 a year, you know.
Sell the house, get the equity, pay for your college cash, and go from there.
Make sure you're debt-free, stay debt-free, do everything you can to get your income up, be studying something in college that causes your income to go up. Don't study some left-handed puppetry degree.
And then when you have kids, you can buy them a house outright, not just co-sign for them. Good grief, man.
Later on. But, yeah, mom and dad love you, thank you. No, because you can't refinance it, even if you want to. No mortgage company is going to give you this loan, and they shouldn't, because you can't pay it. Tanya is with us in Amarillo, Texas. Hey, Tanya, how are you?
Hey, Dave. Hey, Dr. Deloney. How are you?
Great. Good. How can we help?
Good. My family is facing a big move. It's a good move, but it's a little bit scary. We're moving to my husband's family's farm to start taking over as his parents retire. It's across states. We currently live in Texas, and we'll be moving to Oklahoma. We recently paid off all debts, and we'll be selling a house with a good amount of equity. So my question really is, how can I go about doing a good job of estimating what our expenses might be as we step into baby step number 3? And then secondly, we kind of jumbled all the baby steps by paying off the mortgage and moving in baby step 2, and now we're at 3 and we need kids in college. And so just that's the very primary question is there a good way to estimate expenses when you just don't know? I know cost of goods will be decreased, but taxes will be quite different, both income and retail and grocery. So I don't know how to estimate that.
I don't think Oklahoma's that different from Texas.
Well, I've ordered groceries a few times for my husband while he's there, and it's the groceries tax is going to be, I'm afraid that's going to creep up on us. But
nah,
not like you think you will.
No, it's not that much different. I think whatever your household expenses are now is probably a good place to start for estimating your household expenses there. Plus or minus whatever you're going to change with the move. But in terms of Oklahoma cost of living versus Texas cost of living, nah. Unless you're moving from like a major metro area in Dallas or Houston or something, and you're moving to a rural area in Oklahoma, it might go down some. But food cost is not going to be appreciably different. Utility cost is not going to be appreciably different. Really, there's nothing that's going to be substantially different. The real estate prices may be different in the areas that you're going in, but you're not even dealing with that because you're moving onto a family farm.
I think it's a spiritual issue, Dave. When you raised in Texas, you know that Oklahoma's the enemy, and she's moving into enemy territory, and I think she's just not sleeping well at night. That's what I think. I'm a hearts with you, honey.
Listen, his name is Dr. John Deloney. You can find him on social media and respond to that. I don't want to hear about it. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey folks, I got a great option to help you pay for your education. The Army National Guard. The Army National Guard believes you are the next greatest generation because you have proven that even in adversity, that you have what it takes to succeed. That's why they offer benefits like tuition assistance, career training, and a paycheck to help you avoid debt. No matter what your goals are, the Army National Guard can help you get there. Visit nationalguard.com to find out more.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Thanks for joining us, America. This is The Ramsey Show. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host. Imagine what your income could do for you if it wasn't going out the door every month in debt payments. Credit card bills, student loans, car payments. Yeah, it kind of takes your life away, doesn't it? You know what? It'd be cool to be without all that, wouldn't it? It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't take as long as you think to get out of debt. People do it pretty quick once they get on a plan. It all starts with Financial Peace University. This is the class that's helped millions and millions of people learn the proven plan to get out of debt and build wealth. But it's not enough to just learn the plan. You've got to put it into action every single day. And the way you do that is by budgeting with EveryDollar, the world's best budgeting app. And you can get Financial Peace University and EveryDollar only with a Ramsey Plus membership. A lot of other stuff at Ramsey Plus as well, but that's where a lot of people get started. You can create a life for where your money works for you and not against you. It's time to get out of the debt, fast and for good. Start your free trial of Ramsey Plus by texting TRIAL to 33789. Text TRIAL to 33789. Matthew is in Tucson, Arizona. Hi, Matthew. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I had a question for you guys. It's a kind of a dock to boat situation. I'm in the Air Force Reserves as a federal civilian doing the same job, and I'm looking at transitioning into the chaplain corps for the Air Force, and they have a program that'll help me with my Master of Divinity and get me experience and stuff like that. But by entering the program, I lose my civilian position because it's tied to my enlisted position in the reserves. So I'm trying to figure out when would be the best way to kind of step over to the boat while I'm working out my finances.
Okay, so you are you have another job other than the National Guard, right?
So yeah, I'm an Air Force reservist, and I am an Air Reserve technician. So during the week, I'm a federal civilian, and on 1 week a month, 2 weeks out of the year, I'm enlisted, but it's the exact same job. Okay. I'm an aircraft mechanic.
Okay, so you're a civilian aircraft mechanic now.
Correct.
Okay, but you're wanting to drop that. You're wanting to drop that, which pays how much?
About $79 a year.
Yeah, so you're going to drop an $80,000 a year job to go as a full-time reservist or still be a part-time reservist?
So I am. It's a complicated position because I'm both right now, but I'd be stepping off from enlisted to commission. So by going to commission, I would finish school with this program. And then after 2 years, there's a possibility of me being able to go active duty afterwards, but it would be a 2 to 3 year.
Where is it you're trying to end up?
I want to be an active duty chaplain in order to provide a lot of help for individuals in the service that.
Good. You don't have to have an MDiv to do that.
Okay.
Chaplaincy in the military does not require an MDiv.
It does.
No, it doesn't. A lot of them aren't even Christians. A lot of them are chaplains, and they have a completely different belief. They're Hindu, they're Muslim, they're everything else, and they certainly don't have an MDiv.
It's a Master Divinity or equivalent is what the requirement on the site says.
Okay. I think you need to do some more investigation. We work with chaplains all over the world in the military. They're the ones that run Financial Peace University in the military. And I've spoken to the groups. They're very diverse, and they're very in their faith base and everything else. And it's not I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of those folks I've met that are not master's degreed.
Right. And it says equivalent, that could be any sort of seminary or denominational, whatever.
No, I guess it could be a master's in finance for all I know. Yeah. If it's a master's level, he's saying, because I'll guarantee you they don't have a master's in theology if you're if you're a practicing Hindu. Yeah. I mean, or Wiccan or whatever else. I mean, I've met chaplains that have just about every kind of faith.
Yeah.
And in the military. Yeah. And so the public has this perception that the chaplaincy is all the guy on MASH and it's Father so-and-so, right? It's not.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's not. Because I made the mistake. I thought I was talking to a bunch of preachers, Christian preachers, when I went in there, and they're like looking at me like I had one eye in the center of my head because I was Jesus this, Jesus that, right? And all of a sudden I found out, well, Jesus isn't what all of them are doing.
Gotcha.
So it was kind of a little awakening for me. I kind of stepped in it. That's what I did. But because I was ignorant of how the chaplaincy in the military works. It's very interesting, but it's not what I had the perception that it was. I thought it was Father, whatever his name is on MASH. I thought that's what it was, right? Yeah. But anyway, it's not. So anyway, I think you need to do a little more investigation into that, and I think you could probably get into the chaplaincy program, and the military would cover your master's while you're full-time military if you enlisted.
That's what I've never heard of somebody going to say, hey, you know what, I want to stop this part-time gig, this weekend gig, and I want to go full-time enlist, and then be told no. Right? I've never heard that. It may exist, but if you want to go full enlist, my understanding is they're happy to take you.
Yeah, I think they'll take you, but the question is, can they plug him in and pay for the master's and plug him into the chaplaincy program straight up? I'm not positive of that, but I think that could be arranged with a recruiter.
Yeah,
I really do. I think they would enjoy your help, big time. And so, but no, I'm not going to walk out of an $80,000 position down to part-time or no time, and
to go to grad school full-time for 2 years
in order to end up in the chaplaincy in the military. That's, there's got to be another route, another path to get there that is going to be much more palatable on your checkbook.
Yeah, but he did bring up something that I think is important. Sometimes when you're looking at these job requirements, you spend a lot of time A, on your head, and B, on the internet. And it's what Ken Coleman says, you got to go sit down with somebody who's doing this job and say, give me the path. What is my point from A to B? Yeah. And they can help you
and they may tell you Dave Ramsey's a nut and doesn't know what he's talking about. It does require a master's. They may tell you that, but my experience with them does not indicate that.
Yeah.
That's just, and I've actually had lots and lots and lots of conversations with lots and lots of chaplains over the last 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in here every week, just about, somebody stopping in, and I've been to their gatherings and everything else. I don't know what to call it, but but so. We love military chaplains.
Absolutely,
I know that.
Man.
We love the military, and we really love military chaplains. They got a special job, special calling. So very interesting. All right, open phones at 888-825-5225. You guys jump in. Dr. John Deloney is my co-host today, and we'd love to have you participate with us here. Why does counseling have such a negative connotation? Reed wants to know.
Oh, man. I think it's probably a holdover from the old days that only crazy people needed to go see somebody or see a shrink, right? And
which comes from witch doctor shrinking heads,
right?
That's where that comes from.
Yeah,
it's head shrinker.
I think our parents grew up in a world where you only went if you were quote unquote nuts, right? Or someone was crazy. I look at counseling now. It's a set of skills, a set of tools I don't have, right? It's a teacher. And you sit down and someone can hold up a mirror and reflect you back to you and be an external
if you just call it life coach, it becomes okay.
That's right. Or if you call it a hardware store, I got to go with some different tools, it becomes really okay. Right?
Yeah. I'm not sure why it has a negative connotation unless it's a holdover from that, though. I agree.
That's all I can think of.
Yeah. This is the Ramsey Show.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Kara is with us in Sacramento, California. Hi, Kara. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I am just extremely overwhelmed, I guess is the best way to see it. I'm a single mom. I grew up also with a single mom and who struggled. I'm definitely not as bad off as I was growing up, but I'm still struggling. And I know you're going to say I have an income problem. I'm pretty sure. My friend just introduced me to you, so I've been for the last few weeks listening to the podcast, and sometimes I'm like, woohoo, I got that answer right. I knew what you were going to say, but I just can't handle my own mess for some reason. I filed bankruptcy in 2019 because a creditor was going to take 25% of my wages. And at one point I had tried to put 10% of my retirement and I didn't have enough for rent. So I knew 25% was a no-go. So I did file bankruptcy. I did open a couple credit cards after just to build my credit, which now I know is a bad thing, but I don't use them. I put a small amount, I pay it right off. I was literally just trying to build my credit. I don't want a fiasco. My rent is going up again in August. I don't know what to do. I'm terrified. I have
how old is your babies?
Well, they're actually pretty much grown. My oldest will be 24 in August, and my youngest will be 17 in August. And I'm 44.
And you've raised them completely by yourself?
For the most part, yeah. My youngest one, her dad, he's basically raised both of them. We started dating. My oldest one was 5 months old, so he's her dad, the only dad she knows. But yeah, he's been in the picture the last, probably since she was 9, and been continually in the picture. So, but I don't get child support.
You've been an unmarried mother of children
Yes.
Their whole life.
And yeah.
Okay. Hey, stop a minute. Stop a minute. Stop a minute.
Okay.
You're a freaking hero.
Yeah.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
And you're exhausted.
I am exhausted.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fortunate that my job, I'm a surgical technologist, so I'm able to pick up extra shifts and call. And for many years, I worked 6 or 7 days a week. And
you've not known how to do anything for 20 years except put out fires.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And I've heard you twice.
He gets tired.
I've heard you twice on this call try to minimize what you're doing. Yeah, but I'm really lucky, and yeah, I know it could be worse, and yeah, I know you are doing hero work.
And you've almost got it done. I mean, you're almost done. This is pretty amazing. Okay, so let's open the next chapter. Let's open the next chapter and make it awesome together. Okay.
Yes, I'm so proud of my girls. Now they are very financially conscious, frugal, and
I want you to be as proud of you as you are of your girls. And you're
I'm not proud of your girls. I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you. Yes.
Thank you.
All right. So what do you make a year?
My bring home is about 41. It varies and I just recently started picking up more shifts like a mad woman again. But
so what are you, 45?
44, yes.
Oh, pretty good guess. Almost like I've done this. Okay.
Yeah, a time or two, huh?
All right. So you're a 45-year-old single lady whose kids are grown. Yeehaw. Okay. Now, for the next 20 years of your life, 25 years of your life, you get to have what we call an encore, where you come out on the edge of the stage after the play's over and you take a bow and then you go again. So now let's just start fresh. Let's pretend we're 18 or we're 45 and we got a whiteboard. Where do you want to be? Who do you want to be? What do you want to be doing when you're 65?
I want to not be afraid to retire.
I'm talking about your career.
Yeah.
Oh, my career. I absolutely love my job. I love being a surgical tech. I would love to go and finish.
I would love for you to make twice as much money as you make. So what are we going to do?
Me too.
What are we going to do?
Nursing or PA has always been my goal.
Oh, now we're talking. All right.
Yeah,
I like that one. That's a good goal. So what are we going to take? What steps are we going to take to be a PA? How are we going to do this?
Go back to school.
Ta-da.
And go back to school. And I mean, I don't feel like
will the place you work for pay for it?
Well, they'll do tuition reimbursement.
Yeah, that's kind of like paying for it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm liking our plan already.
Once you get to a certain point, you have to be able to support yourself and do it because you can't work full time anymore at that.
I know, but listen, you're already setting up roadblocks, and we're just going to pull them. We could do this for hours. We're going to keep pulling them out of the way.
So let me tell you what successful people do.
Okay.
They look out there and they say, "This is where I want to be." We've already identified that. Then we ask ourselves the question, what has to be true for that to occur that's not true today? Okay, and we've already established a couple of those things. One is you're going to have to go back to school. Two is somehow you're going to have to prepare a way to eat while you have to take a little bit of time off to finish that schooling, and we're going to get there. And by the way, along the way, we're going to get out of debt, and along the way, man, they're going to pay for it for you, so this is getting even better because there's tuition reimbursement. I'm loving this all along. As a matter of fact, you might find a program that would allow you to continue to work there and do your practicum there or whatever it is you're having to do. I don't know. I haven't finished yet. You just started. This is going to be awesome.
Awesome. Hey, Kara,
can I just talk to you every day to cheer me up?
Hey, Kara, listen, I'm going to tell you this in 30 seconds.
Okay.
My mom didn't go to college. She came from an ecosystem that didn't support that. At 42, she took her first community college class. And then she took another one the next year and another one the next year. This is my mom. I watched it happen. And then at 53, she graduated. No, I'm sorry. At 57, she graduated with her PhD. At 63, she was tenured. And at 70, she just stopped being the department chair at the university that she now works at. So here's what I want you to, that's a map that Dave's just telling you. Honey, you're just getting started. You have a whole...
I think I have an age
Who cares?
In my own head. It's
in your own head because you're talking to a 60-year-old, and I'm pissed off now.
And listen, Dave's old. Trust me, he's old, but he's still going, right?
You're dead, John. When we get off there, you're just dead.
Kara, you got the back half to go. You've just played 9 holes, and you got 9 more to go.
It's encore, baby. Take a bow.
So I'm just feeling like exhausted and
hey,
you should. But you
just finished a freaking battle, an 18-year battle, a 20-year battle, and you got battle fatigue.
And I am proud of the fact that I don't I'm not frivolous. I mean, I have my times where I spend here and there that I shouldn't.
If you haven't done some stupid stuff, you wouldn't be human.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Stop
it. But I don't vacation, things like that.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do.
Okay.
You need to go through Financial Peace University because you got to get this stupid credit card stuff and this bankruptcy stuff in your rearview mirror instead of out your windshield. I'm tired of it being in your windshield. It needs to be in the past.
Yeah.
You put it back there. We're going to stop doing the stupid stuff that puts you there. And that's the healing of your finances are going to put you on track to go be a PA. You're going to be a PA.
Yes.
You are.
And you're going to make more money from 55 to 70 than you did from 25 to 55. And it's going to be so fun.
You're gonna throw your shoulders back and go, look at me, I did do this.
That's right.
So you have taken care of everyone else, and now it's time to take care of you.
You've been proud of everybody else, and now it's time to be proud of you.
Ding, ding, girl.
What a stud, man.
You're amazing. Hold on. Kelly's going to pick up. We're going to put you in a Ramsey Plus membership for a year as our gift to you to put you on the way. And we want you to get in there and get into Financial Peace University, get the Every Dollar app going, and get your finances straightened out. Go to KenColeman.com. Start following the stuff Ken is doing on Career. And you have 30 days to start taking solid steps on this journey. I don't want to talk to you again 60 days from now and you have done nothing except whine.
You should be 30 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Our scripture of the day, Proverbs 16:9. In their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. Mark Cuban said, work like there's someone working 24 hours a day to take it away from you. Woo! Get them, Mark.
I like that.
Get them, I love it. Jake is with us. Jake is in Knoxville. Hi, Jake. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. How you doing?
Great, man. How can we help?
Well, I didn't know Dr. John was going to be on the show with you today. Otherwise, I would have revamped my question. But the question I called in about was I'm taking the Financial Coach Master Trainer course. And obviously, everybody, it doesn't follow the Dave Ramsey plan, the debt-free plan. So how do I coach somebody, obviously, with the goal in mind that I'm going to try and make them or have them come to the conclusion that the debt-free lifestyle is the best way to do it, but if they're insistent upon credit score and credit cards, how do I coach them to do the wrong thing in the best way, I guess?
Okay.
I don't really understand the question.
So you're saying that you're gone through our Financial Coach Master Training, and someone's going to come in and pay you for financial coaching, and they don't want to follow your advice.
Well, not exactly. Just more along the lines of.
Well, that's exactly. If you're going to teach, if your advice is don't build a credit score, and your advice is don't use debt, but they're bound and determined to do it, how do you coach them? The answer is you can't.
You fire your client. You move on. Same thing in counseling. If you're making recommendations and your clients,
if you're a marriage counselor and the husband is sleeping around on his wife, and you say, "Dude, you've got to stop that. That doesn't work in marriage," and he says, "Oh, but that's what I believe. I believe it's okay," and you go, "I can't help you.
I'm not a good
You're
fit
an
for
idiot."
you. Yeah. I'm not a good fit for you. Yeah.
You're going to have to go find someone else that has a different belief system.
Exactly on the same level, but I get the reference. So I would just not coach somebody like that, but then that would take away from possible income on my side.
No, it won't, because if you coach people to do stupid stuff, you're not going to get new clients. You want to teach someone to do the wrong thing efficiently?
Yeah, think back to your question, brother.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because here's the thing. Word's going to get out on you that you're coaching people to do the wrong thing well.
Jake, it sounds like you don't believe it. Do you believe it?
No, I absolutely believe in the debt-free lifestyle. My wife and I are on baby step 2, and we're getting ready to pay off our debt come October.
Yeah, I got a friend. I got a friend the other day that leased a car. Okay, he's a friend of mine, but he did a stupid thing. He leased a car. Okay, but he can't come up to me then and go, I'm not going to go, well, here's the best way to lease a car. I'm going to say, don't lease a car. Don't lease a car. So guess what? He didn't ask me because he knew what I was going to say.
Not everybody initially comes into coaching thinking, oh, I'm going to get debt free. Obviously, that's something we want to lead them to on their own to make that decision based off of the information that we give them. But
exactly.
But in the meantime, how do I?
In the meantime, you continue to say, this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
Don't use debt. I'm not going to teach you how to use debt. It's like someone calling me on the radio and saying, how can I build my credit score? I'm not going to assist them in doing that, although I know how to assist them in doing that. But I don't believe it's good for them, and so I'm going to say, I can't help you with that. What I can help you with is that here's the reasoning why you don't need to build your credit score, because it's an indication you've been borrowing money your whole stupid life. It's not an indication that you're good with money. A high credit score is not an indication that you're wealthy. It's not an indication that you're smart. It's not an indication of anything except you paid a lot of interest to some stupid bank for the last 15 years. This is the only way you get an 800 credit score. And so I'm not going to help you build your credit because I don't think it's good for you. If you want to do that, you're going to have to do that on your own. And, here's the thing. If you want to be agnostic as a counselor, you're going to be ineffective. Agnostic to the principles.
Think about a basketball coach. If you don't care about winning, you're not going to be a good coach, right? And so if your player comes and says, hey, I see that you want to run this offense, but really I just want to jack up three-pointers all day, then I'm not going to be your coach. You're not going to be on my team. That's the only way you can do that, right?
Yeah, you cannot be agnostic to principles when you're coaching.
Especially for short-term business gain. That will fail in the end every time. Every time.
Yeah, when people want to buy agnostic, I'm not talking about faith. I'm talking about you're not tied to the principle as having it works. I'm not agnostic to the law of gravity.
Right.
I believe it. I believe it's a law. I've experienced its effects.
Correct.
And if my 3-year-old grandchild wants to do something that's going to put him at risk, I'm not going to go, well, try that flying thing and see how it works.
Right.
Just jump your butt off a 2-story building and see how that works out for you. Yeah. I'm going to stop him from doing it because I love him and it's going to hurt him.
Yeah.
It's a law. It's a principle, and I'm not agnostic. But the 3-year-old grandchild, in their ignorance, may be agnostic to, they don't give a rip about the law of gravity because they don't understand its effects yet.
Right.
And so you have to adhere to principles in order to coach.
And so when you're a financial coach, you've got to have your firm principles. This is the way I teach how to be financially successful.
And if it's not a fit for you, that's fine. Because listen, if you want to buy nothing down real estate and you want to leverage and go up your eyeballs in debt and buy everything in sight and not think anything about debt and the risk associated with it, and you don't think debt is bad, you should see my good friend Robert Kiyosaki. He can help you with that. Robert and I are friends. He's a great guy. He and I completely disagree on this. And he's not agnostic about it either, by the way.
He
firmly believes it's the best way to build wealth, and I firmly believe it's not. But we're still friends. We don't disrespect each other and anything like that. But, if you want to buy nothing down real estate, you don't need to call Dave Ramsey. He's not going to help you with it. Right. You need to call Robert. He'll help you with it. And so I'm not a fit for everyone. If you want to be a Bitcoin billionaire, you don't need to call me. Because I'm going to tell you, Bitcoin's stupid. Don't do it. And which I need to say that at least once a day because it keeps the internet really buzzing.
I'm happy to say
the
it too.
more I say it, the better it goes. So the better the social media people, the Bitcoin warriors. It's my favorite thing to stir up since the gold bugs.
It will be
when I start up all the gold people. But anyway, I don't believe in buying gold either. Let's piss those guys off. I don't believe in buying whole life insurance. Let's piss those guys off. I don't believe in buying a car on debt. Ever I'd ride a bicycle first.
Wait a minute. Do you like buying timeshares, Dave? Tell us about timeshares.
This is the thing. So you really, 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 you got to make that call, Jake. And that's why John was questioning whether you believe it or not. I believe you do believe it, but I think you're just trying to be a nice guy and help everyone.
And that's a great point. You can't do that. You're not going to be a good fit for everybody. It's going to cost you some business, and you're going to need that extra coaching client, and you're not going to get that money per hour that you've got built in because you stuck to your principles, and that's how you win long term.
And they'll say, that guy Jake, me and him don't agree, but he does know who he is.
And he's honest. He was honest with me.
He was honest with me. He told me not to do it.
And this is who I'm going to be. This is the plan I'm going to follow. I'd love to take you there, but if that's not for you, then so be it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a good question. It just takes me a minute to unpack. Why do I think that? Because it's automatic for me.
Yeah.
After all these years of doing this, it's just autopilot. I don't even think about it.
Well, and I'll tell you, back in grad school, we had some class sessions on how to appropriately break up with a client. Say, I'm not a good fit for you, and I'm sorry.
But you know what? There's
it is a skill you got to learn, right?
But there's this thing, and it's not Jake, but there's this thing in the culture, and Jake, we're partially reacting to that we're supposed to be okay with everyone. And I'm not.
Yeah.
Because some of them are dumb.
Yeah.
You just need to do it. You need to go, there's a right and there's a wrong.
Yeah.
There's a good and there's an evil. And it's, there just is.
Yeah.
And this thing, you got to be willing to do that. You got to be willing to do that, or you're going to be ineffective. Dr. John Deloney puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it.